Hello everybody, Nick here, back again with another video. And it seems like I just keep getting ideas for videos every time I kind of think about life and ponder about, this existence, this realm and things like that. But from time to time I like to talk about topics as well, in this life, like the system, the global elites and things like that, conspiracy, quote unquote conspiracy things. But from time to time, we'll go to other YouTube channels and I like to check out, different topics and things like that. And I see a lot of YouTube channels talking about like spiritualism and, mind frame, your frame of mind and just the type of attitude you should have in this life. And there's nothing wrong with that, absolutely not. I think anything that can kind of get you through this, crazy world we live in this existence, this hellish planet, And he was a younger guy. I'm not going to name any names because I just, I have nothing against the guy. I think he's brave enough to come in front of the camera. I believe anybody that's able to come on camera and talk about what they believe or give advice to people, I think that really, it takes guts to do that because it's really not easy. It took a long time for me to be comfortable on camera. Took a lot of different techniques. Now I feel like I'm just talking to you guys, like as if you're here face to face. That's kind of like what I imagine. But coming back to this topic about, his YouTube channel, I didn't want to try to be negative leaving comments. I watched pretty much almost the whole video and listened to what he had to say. But that frame of mind is kind of antiquated in my opinion, because that's how I used to think. And I can't really blame him because he was born probably in the, late 90s or early 2000s or something like that. He's around that age. I forget what generation it is. I think it's like Gen Z, or I'm not even sure. But it's, like I said, it takes guts to go on camera and start a YouTube channel. And I agree with some of his points. He was talking about how you have to go through struggles and to learn through this life and things like that. I don't really, sure, struggles are going to happen, but that's not a consequence of, that's just the fabric of this system that we're in. I mean, we're taught that we have to go through struggles and difficult times to be stronger. And sure, okay, experience definitely really, really helps you. Going through different types of situations does help you. But my point is, at the end of the day, nothing really matters. Like I've talked about this countless times in my videos, it's hard to sort of ignore that fact. I'm not trying to say not getting, I think experience really helped me to get to where I am today. I mean, it probably helped me evolve and change my mindset a little bit. I try to look at all different aspects of this existence to try to come up with conclusions. I'll look at evidences of different people who talk about different things. I don't make a direct conclusion about things unless I have enough information to make the appropriate decision or come to the appropriate conclusion for myself. Now, okay, he talked about that stuff, whatever. My comment was, I try not to be so negative. It's hard though, because sometimes the truth is negative. That's just the way it is. The truth doesn't care, okay? It is what it is. I hate that phrase, but I mean, the truth doesn't care what you think. It just is, So what I wrote, I basically paraphrasing. It's kind of like at the end of the day, nothing really matters because we're all going to perish anyway. He didn't take it offensively, and I didn't mean it to be offensive. If hopefully that's not how he took it, but I mean whatever. And he hearted it and he responded, and I have to show you guys what his response was. Here's what he said. So yeah, if you can see what I'm talking about, the mentality of the younger generations, and I think people are just trying to be positive in this life. Maybe it isn't a good mindset to him, but it's in my opinion, it's the correct one because that's just the truth. Sure, I don't think about it 24/7 that, oh, it's going to end, it's going to end. But I do try to use that as a methodology to, or a motivation to try and get me to enjoy a little bit more, because I know that there's going to be an end and no one knows when it's going to happen. You know, it could be tomorrow, it could be later tonight. I don't know. It could be 10 years from now for everybody. That's just the way it is. You don't get to choose. I don't know whether it's all already decided. I don't know if that's how our universe works, how this matrix works. I don't know. But the point that I wanted to get to in this video was how I want to be remembered. Personally, I don't really care. I mean, I don't care what people think about me alive. Why would I care what people think about me when I'm gone? Sure, I'm not going to be... It's not a nice thing if people think you're a shitty person or whatever. Of course not. But at the end of the day, I mean, I try to be the best person I can, the best version of myself, whoever I really am. I mean, I'm called Nick here in this, realm, but I try to just be the best person I can. I believe in good. I think that I know a lot. I've watched YouTubers who talk about the same thing about me and the same topics as I do, and a lot of them are like, why be good and why? Well, I just think I feel better when I'm good. I feel there's an energy. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, if you're a good person and you're watching this, you'll know exactly what I mean. When you do a nice thing for somebody, if you have a pet, for example, and you can feel the energy. There is an energy there. Everything is energy. Everything that is created is energy. If you want to say all these solids, it's an energy that is just rubbing up against each other to create a solid. Everything is energy in this, whether it's the matrix, whether it's a simulation, everything is energy no matter what. And I think it's all fluid. So no, I don't really care about what people, how they'll remember when I'm gone. It'd be nice if they just think of me as a very good person. But at the end of the day, I really don't care. The other point that I'm just looking at, because I don't remember line, word for word. Don't you want to create a better life for your children and their children? That's the old mentality of what we're taught, that we have to keep procreating, that we have to keep the family name going, and this and that. I don't see myself having kids. I've done anti-natalism videos. I've done pro-natalism videos, the pros and cons, because I like to look at both sides. But I don't see myself as someone who will have kids. It's really fucked up out there, and the world is I don't know what these kids are gonna have in the future. What kind of societies they're gonna be, what kind of world is there gonna be for them after the next 10, 15, 20 years and beyond. It's just, when I think about that, I'm like, holy crap, which will lead to suffering. I don't want to put someone through suffering. I just don't. I mean, sure, I would love if we could have a beautiful world, a safe world, a just world, but that's just not the way it is. And I think that there's many factors as to why that is. I've gone into it in other videos. I know that there's a group controlling everything, and people are going to say, oh, it's just a conspiracy theory. Okay, believe what you want. Go and research. Go down the rabbit hole, but no one wants to do that because A, it's hard work. 2, they're going to come to some ugly truths that they never thought even existed. And 3, they're going to be like, those people would never do that. Okay, well, you would never do that, but they would. So time to start waking up. The other comment, which is the main thing of this video, is the legacy thing. So, which pertains to what people think about you when you're gone, how you want to be remembered. That's that's like leaving a legacy. Now, a lot of people who have big egos, they care about leaving a legacy, a good legacy. I don't give a rat's ass. I simply don't. I mean, if I could choose one little thing that I would want after I'm gone, it's just that people remember that I was a generous person, because I think when you see that those type of people exist in this world, it rubs off on other people. And I don't want, the world is already full of terrible, evil, grifting, robbing pieces of shit. So if people can look back and say, see, it is possible. There are people who exist that are good. But again, I know that it's far and few between. Now, legacy. I don't know why these people really want to have a legacy, like what they care about when they're gone. They won't even be here. It's just, for me, ego trip, and I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Like if you think about 50 years and beyond from this point on, most of the people won't even remember anybody. Like we remember people from the past or whatever because there's books written about them and then things like that, historical figures, and it's important to sort of remember those, but it's not to have a legacy's sake. It's not just to have a legacy. That's not the point of it. It's I think for humanity to learn from more so. How do you think some of these like crazy people are remembered, like these child diddlers or these famous people that get busted all the time for doing, illegal acts? They're going to be remembered as pieces of shit, and I mean, they're going to care that happened. Maybe they don't care. I don't know. But my point is, the legacy doesn't matter. You don't need a legacy in this life. I would say just do the best you can. Enjoy yourself as much as you can. Do the things that you want to do. I mean, I can't repeat this enough. So legacies, I could give a rat's ass. I mean, it's people who are thinking like they're going to be here seeing it. It's the same with a funeral or whatever. What do you care if you have a funeral or not? You're not going to be there. I don't know. People have this weird concept of like death and how things should be after they're gone. I do prefer that my ashes be spread somewhere like on an ocean or something. I don't want to be in the ground. I mean, it doesn't matter really in the end of the day, but I would just rather go back to the earth, if this is even really a real earth, and that could be a topic for another video. So when I commented on that one below and I said this, and he responded by saying this. Now, the world is what you make it. Not really. The world is the way it is because of people. You're only a circumstance of what's going on in this world. You're just caught in the middle of like this massive storm, of crime, terrible, you get the natural disasters happening. You're really just a piece of debris in the wind. You don't really have much control over a lot of things in this world. You do have control over what goes in your body and things like that, but I'm saying on the grand scheme of things, the world, you really can't change much by yourself. You can speak your voice, speak and voice your opinion, but I don't know. I mean, this is, again, still old way of thinking. And I used to think this way, it's the positive mentality. The world is what you make it, life is what you make it. Okay, sure, you can go after things you want in this life if you work hard enough, but then for what? I mean, to get low pay, to have to work all these hours away of your life, you're wasting away these best years of your life for what? Again, the comments that he was saying is basically like, just accept the way things are. I've already accepted that, but I'm not going to like it. Yeah, I mean, it was overall a good exchange, and I do wish him the best on his channel. For any of those asking who it is, I'm not going to say, because I don't want people to sort of like, not that you guys would do that, but it's just better to keep on anonymity. I only said these comments really to open his eyes. I didn't say it to be demeaning, rude, or any of those things. Not that I have to explain myself, because a lot of you who watch my videos already know a lot about me just based on the things that I've said. But legacy and how you want to be remembered really doesn't damn well matter. I say just enjoy the time, whatever time you have. Try to make the best of it. I know a lot of you are struggling and having a difficult time. You gotta try and get out of it. You gotta try to, like, and I mean feeling that way, because if the less suffering and pain that you can go through until the end, the better, because it just isn't fun. I mean, who the hell likes to feel pain, and who likes to suffer? We're all gonna have it no matter what. A little bit of it, a lot of it. Some people go through more than others. I mean, look at other countries around the world. They're going through real shitty time. They're not enjoying their time at all. I think the West complains a little too much, because considering how other countries in the world have it, the West has a little bit better. I'm not saying it's a great time, but everyone's suffering and pain is different than the next person's. One person's pain and suffering may not be as bad to them. The other one, it may be excruciating. So I don't judge when someone says they're in pain or they're suffering. I would even say wealthy people can go through pain and suffering. They're human beings. They have to worry about all the money they have and the people around them. You can barely trust any of the people around you. Who can you trust? Because you've got this money, they might just be interested in you only for the money. And so everyone has a different level or degree of pain and suffering. But let me know what you guys think about leaving a legacy. Do you think it's even worth doing? Like, do you think it's even worth having this conversation? I think a lot of people think about these things because it's like a positive thing for them to think of after they die. Oh, how am I going to be remembered? They're going to really like me, and that's another thing. You don't need people to like you. You just don't. I mean, even if you're a good person, even if you do good things, like for me, I'll leave you with this last thought of mine. I like to help people. I have friends here who don't make that much money in Brazil. They're older, and once in a while I'll help them out. I mean, I just do it because I want to see people. I want to genuinely see people doing well and feeling good and not suffering, and definitely not starving. So for me, I don't do it so that people remember me. Oh, what a good guy. Sure, I do feel good about myself because I know that I'm helping somebody. Do you know what I mean? I don't do it to say, oh, you're gonna be well remembered, Nick. I could give a rat's ass about that. I'm thinking of the now. So many people out there that are just, it's tough. It's a tough, shitty place we live, and mainly because of humans. It's that simple. And whether I'm going to get some trolls on this video, who the hell knows? I mean, there's just people who get off just trolling, and that's probably a symptom of something else. Maybe they're suffering in some way in their life, or they don't want to accept the truth, because when they hear it and they know deep down that it's the truth, it really gets to them, so they have to push back against it. And I think that's why I had a few trolls, but really not that many. Most of the people that watch my videos are very, very cool and very supportive, and I appreciate that. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. This video kind of went, all over the place, but I found it interesting that, the mentality of younger people talking about like legacy and how you want to be remembered and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's really not important to me. What's important is that you try to avoid the pain and suffering as much as possible, help each other as much as possible, and just do what you want to do. So hit the like if you like this video, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and let me know in the comment below what you think about this mentality of having to leave a legacy, or that you should, or caring about how you want to be remembered. So let me know, and thank you for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys in the next video very, very soon. Bye for now.